Six Nations second game of the weekend, folks. The Scots up against the Welsh, and it is the predicted Scottish win, 35 points to 29, although it'll be a mixed bag of emotions in terms of the way the game finished, because the Scots were putting the Welsh to the sword at times, but geez, did the Welsh show some absolute desperate defence at times to keep the scoreline from going out any further, and they pushed enough to get themselves a couple of bonus points out of this one for 4 tries and one for getting within 7. I feel like Finn Russell shaking his head on the side of the pitch at the end of the game is maybe going to be the final emotion of the game, but still, it's a bonus point win for the Scots, and they've got a big game up against the French in the final week, which could decide which way the championship goes. It's not going to be Scotland's way, but hey, some still interesting times to come. We'll go through this game, the kind of key events and the stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. But Wales get the early lead with a penalty through Gareth Anscombe, but then that almost fired the Scots up. And when the Scots get going, they can play some of the most beautiful rugby that you'll see when their backs unleashed. Just the shows and goes, the offloads, the width they're able to get into the ball is fantastic stuff. And they showed it 14 phases in reply to the early Welsh penalty. They, as I said, shift using the width of the pitch. They go right and they go shift back left. Russell to Graham to Kinghorn on the left. And it is try time. And then the sideline conversion from Russell, which he would have liked a fortnight ago. But hey, 7 points to 3. Gets worse for Wales because Tom Rogers goes off. Early injured on the 9th minute. So it's a bit of disruption for them. And then Scotland continue to spread the ball wide. Continue those quick hands. Graham on the right wing. Shifting left, Duhan van der Merwe. It's a big size difference between him and Ellis, who's only in his second test. He gets fended. That gives the kind of numbers advantage to the Scottish attackers. It's to Jones on the left wing and the support line for Tom Jordan. 14 points to 3. Pretty kind of quick fire double within 6 minutes. So, yeah, the Scots suddenly looking pretty comfortable. There's a TMO call for Ben Tomos, getting his fingers potentially into the eyes of Duhan van der Merwe. But the ref says, nah, there's no foul play there. And I think he's right. He's kind of going for a fend. It's almost like he grabs him by the nose, just trying to get his kind of hand out of his way. But I don't think he was going for an eye gouge. So I think kind of common sense prevailed in that one. But as the Scottish kept pushing, there were some Welsh standouts like Jack Morgan. Guy continues to be incredible in terms of being able to rip the ball in the tackle or hoof the thing clear, win turnovers and whatnot. So to kind of keep his team in the fight, and then him winning a penalty, the breakdown led to some actual kind of possession and territory in the attacking area for the Welsh, and then Gareth Anscombe with the wee dink and kick through for Blair Murray. That's try time for the Welsh. So conversion hits the post, but 14 points to 8. That is back to being game on. But bloody hell, Scotland didn't like Wales scoring, especially in that first half, because every time they did, they kind of punished them for it. They went through 10 plus phases in return. There were offloads, Russell with the show and go, and then, just they kind of delayed that pass just enough to put through for Graham for that next try. It's 21 points to 8. And Scotland's lead is suddenly looking a fair bit more comfortable. Then Wales get a yellow card, Wilgraf John. Stupid. Honestly, what was he thinking? Wales are under pressure, to be fair, and they need to slow the ball down. But as he's retreating, you're a big friggin' prop, for goodness sake. Just sticks his foot up to block a pass. It's cynical, and he cops a yellow card for it. So, yeah, pretty silly stuff. But then Scotland muck up the line out, so it looks like Wales are going to get out of jail, but then Wales muck up the exit. You've just been given the free, the get out of jail free card from the Scots when they mucked up the line out. You need to get the clear exit, but it's a kick pass in their own 22. You're trying to do a France. France might be able to do it. This is not the time to be doing it. Blair Murray has to kind of try and take the kick pass above his head on the sideline, but he's only able to flick it back in field, and Scotland are able to pounce on it. Jordan hacks it through and goes over to score, so 28 points to 8. That's the bonus point before half-time. I mean, half-time stats are all Scotland. Clean breaks, 6-0. Possession, 60-40. Territory, 66-33. Wales have had to make over 100 tackles. The Scots are still in the 40s. It is a lopsided half, and it's kind of reflected in the scoreline, 28-8. The breakdown battle has been one that's been going on in the first half, like I mentioned, and it continues on in the second half. Scotland punish again, though, when they get themselves a penalty. It's from a counter-ruck. They get that penalty, gives them a nice 22 entry to potentially go for the try, which, Gregor Townsend was getting grilled in the pre-match press conferences about their tactics and not opting for drop goals and stuff. Well, he wanted them to get tries, and they were able to get the tries, man. The hands, again, they split the Welsh defence. Finn Russell to Kinghorn goes over more or less untouched, 35 points to 8. But that is the final scoring for the Scots. And we are still really early on in the game. It's 48 minutes. There's still lots of rugby to be played. This is the part that I think will burn the Scots in the kind of review. It's not like they didn't have chances. There were some errors, like Wales, when they had some ball, kept knocking it on. Scotland, their line-out wasn't straight. Kinghorn having a wee vomit on the side of the pitch. I don't know what caused that. Because the previous play, I had to rewind it to check what the hell happened when Kinghorn's having a wee spew on the side of the field. Like, I rewound it, and he was catching a high ball. He didn't seem to cop like a stray limb to the guts or anything. I don't know if that was just a nerves thing, a bug, but he was having a wee spew, and he gets man of the match as well. And the lady giving him the interview was like asking him about his vomit on the side of the field. What's he supposed to say? He just says, I didn't know that was on the big screen, as if he'd been able to control it. Maybe he would have. But yeah, that was bizarre, as the ref was trying to hurry him up. Hurry up. He's having a spew. Give him a second, please, ref. He's clearly not deliberately wasting time if he genuinely needs to have a vomit. But anyway, Wales, on about the hour mark, did actually start to get things going in the second half, and it was kind of nice, flat attacking play from the Welsh backline at this point, which was nice. Ben Tomos was able to cut inside. He had an overlap outside him, but he didn't need it. He's able to cut inside, gets the try, 35-15, and then Wales get a scrum penalty not too long later, and I'm thinking, if they get a try here, does that maybe make things interesting? Well, they do get the try. They go for the maul, get stopped, next phase, stop, and then Teddy Williams powers over from pretty close range, so 35-22 is maybe enough to make it, a bit spicy going into the final quarter of the game. But Scotland, from that Welsh score, do that thing they were doing in the first half. They get fired up. They go through 18 phases, but holy moly, the Welsh goal line defence was phenomenal before they held the Scottish guys up. There were multiple chances. You think Scotland's surely going in here. But you got to question why the heck they didn't spin it at some point. It was almost like a point of pride that the Scots wanted to just barrel through the Welsh forwards to kind of put them in their place. I don't know, but they went through a ton of phases. So many of them close range, but the Welsh didn't budge. So credit to them for that. And then it looked like, with like 5 minutes to go, like the kind of no way moment, Blair Murray with a kind of crazy counter-attacking play, line break, and then Faletau goes over for a try, but it gets TMO'd because Blair Murray, it's a bit of hurdles. He jumped over a tackle. I think it's a fair call because he just, like, there's an arm going for him to try and wrap around him, and he just hurdles him. Like, it's just like watching the Olympics. Olympic hurdling, you can't do that. That's jumping over a tackle. So if you're a Welsh fan, you might disagree, but yeah, it would have made for a bloody spicy end because that would have made it a one-score game. But no, it gets TMO'd. Scotland did get held up again with a minute to go. So again, more credit to Wales's defence. And Wales had the final say of the game. When they got a penalty, went down Scotland's end, 5-metre line-out, maul, and then quick ball out to Ben Tomos, and then Max Llewellyn powers over, 4th try bonus point, within 7 with the conversion, 2nd bonus point. So wee bit of a kind of moral victory, I guess, at the end, at least for the comeback for Wales. If Scotland had got 40, 50 points, it would have looked pretty ugly. But yeah, credit to Wales for that desperate goal line defence and for coming back and scoring some tries. Scotland, I mean, they pulled Finn Russell pretty early. Maybe that was a mistake, but I mean, again, still bonus point win. I'm saying maybe being a bit harsh, but I don't think they'll be happy with the fact that they went kind of half an hour scoreless. Just seeing as how slick they had looked at times. Like I said, when Scotland plays fun attacking rugby, they are one of the most entertaining and dangerous sides in the world. Run meters 561 to 455, so that's pretty open. Clean breaks though 9-2. But remember, it was like 6-0 at half-time, so it was more even in the second half. Defenders beaten 33-17. Offloads 16-1 to the Scots, but turnovers 1-7-5 to the Welsh. Also, turnovers conceded as 13-6 to the Scots, so they coughed up a bit too much ball. Individuals, Kinghorn, man of the match, 6 defenders beaten. On the scoreboard, 2 clean breaks, 96 metres, plus a vomit. Busy holding for that guy. Dempsey, 93 metres. Faletau had 111, so both the number 8s really busy on the carry. Faletau had 15 carries. Dempsey had 19. Dempsey made 13 tackles. Stafford Jenkins made 28, which is Herculean. But ultimately for Wales, it's another loss. And for Scotland, geez, man, imagine if you guys had won again in England. It would make next week's match even more spicy. Now you're kind of in the position just to have a say in who else wins it, which is kind of frustrating. But anyway, Scotland, as I said, away to France, Wales home to England. So there we go. We'll see how things go. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I would appreciate it. You guys take care, and talk to you guys again soon. See you later.